What is up, guys? Welcome back to AEW Dynamite review, and let's just jump into it. The first match was a 10-person tag match between Inner Circle versus Best Friends and Jurassic Express. This match was kinda clunky at times. When they did their spot fest, it was kinda clunky at times, but maybe they're used to working with each other, so that's fine. And the Best Friends and the Jurassic Express won with the help of Matt Hardy, which furthers Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara's storyline, which is good because I like that storyline. Second match was for the TNT Championship, Cody versus Warhorse. This is the first I've seen of Warhorse, and his looks is cool. Looks like the Ultimate Warrior. Moveset was, I don't know if that was his full moveset, but maybe it was toned down. But his kind of looks cool. Good moveset. There was a spot that Warhorse was on the top rope and Cody slid outside. Then Warhorse did the back stomp to Cody from the top rope to his back to the ground, because that's how it works, because there's gravity. It was gnarly move, but everyone succumbs to a figure four. If you ask Charlotte Flair, everybody loses to a figure four, and when it's figure eight, because it's 2 times 4 is 8. Wow. There was an angle after the match that John Silver and what's his face from the Dark Order attacked Cody, only to be saved by a debuting Matt Cardona, formerly WWE's Zack Ryder, and he was buffer. When I remember him at WWE, parang he's skinnier, now he's buffer. And after that, Tony Schiavone was in the ramp, and he was interrupted by the demo god Chris Jericho, who announces that he'll be having a match 2 weeks from now versus Cassidy. So it's Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho part 2. And for next week, they're gonna have a debate with a special guest moderator. We'll see what comes out of this. There's a backstage promo. FTR's gonna sign a contract with AEW, and who did they invite? None other than Arn Anderson, which is very apt, I would say. Very on the nose. And they say they don't want to start another 4 horsemen. And I love it when Arn covers his mouth and talks to his clients. It's a nice touch. And for August 2, they're going to have a tag appreciation night hosted by the FTR. And lastly, Adam Page came out to celebrate with the FTR and poured them whiskey, but he poured a little bit too much for himself, so can't drink it all. Sad cowboy noises. Next up was, they had a recap of last week's beatdown of Adam Page before getting saved by the FTR. It was a tiny little bit of seed planting of the dissension between Omega and Adam Hangman Page. Third match was for the AEW World Tag Team Champions. It was Dark Order's Stu Grayson and Evil Uno versus Kenny Omega and the Hangman Adam Page. The start of the match, it's like they were going to fight, but yeah, not really, because they were the best wrestlers in the world. Best singles wrestler combined equals best tag team wrestlers in the world. Colt Cabana during this was in the commentators side, and he was commentating, and it was very good. He was selling Mr. Brody Lee to us. It's like, I want to go to dinner with Mr. Brody Lee too, because it's free. and I remember that he eats steak, and steak is good, and I like steak. The top rope senton by Grayson to the outside was very nice, though I think he hit the back of his neck on the apron, which is scary, so please don't do that often. And Evil Uno's swanton bomb looked like Kevin Owens's, but with a mask. And they're both things are good, and I haven't been watching Dark, so I haven't watched a match of the Dark Order, especially Grayson and Evil Uno, but they're a good team. And the Dark Order's finisher looked good. I don't know if it was the finisher, but Uno tackled Hangman to Grayson's shoulders, then Grayson threw Hangman Adam Page into Uno for a power bump. That's very convoluted, but it looks nice. But everybody succumbs to the V-Trigger Buckshot Lariat combo. And I remember it was called Goodnight Express, I think. I heard Excalibur saying that. I don't know. And after the match, after they lost, syempre, Mr. Brody Lee got angry. He sent Colt Cabana to the back and he reprimanded those two, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, and cut a promo that he's not very happy with Hangman and Omega. The Dark Order surrounded the ring. They came out of nowhere, surrounded the ring. But luckily, the Young Bucks was at ringside, so they helped them. And FTR attacked Mr. Brody Lee with the cooler with ice and beers, which is a funny way of doing things. I guess beating up people from behind, because coolers are flimsy. So if you try to hit someone with that, it's gonna get wrecked. And I don't think it hurts. I'm sorry. And after that one, Dr. Britt Baker cut a promo against Big Swole that he'll give her a match, but only if Big Swole defeats an opponent of the Doctor's choosing. So let's see who's that mystery opponent. Maybe it's Reba or Rebel. Fourth match was Hikaru Shida versus Diamante. And this is standard women's match, and it's kind of disappointing because they're not using the women's division to its fullest capacity. I know Hikaru Shida's a very good wrestler, and there's missing, and you know what's missing? It's storyline and good opponents, because they haven't been building credible opponents for the champion. This is what happened with Riho, but Riho, she was always in Japan, but now that Shida's here, there's no opponent for her, so how could she grow? Yeah. And after that, they explained the women's tag team cup tournament, and the rules are: the tournament is a random draw. All competitors must draw a color. Matching colors will become team. Selections are final and cannot be appealed. Okay. It's like Dusty Classic, the first years of Dusty Classics, and there's a trophy to determine the best tag team in the world, like Gallows and Anderson's trophy. There's a backstage promo for this. Nyla Rose pulled out a color, it's purple, and she has a partner already, which I forgot the name of. I'm sorry. The next up was probably the best part of this episode, MJF's State of the Industry address. Right before the break, he was walking around and he kissed a fake baby like a president, then rinsed his mouth with a mouthwash. What a heel. And he cuts a fantastic promo on Mr. Jon Moxley and announces his candidacy and challenges Jon Moxley for the AEW Championship at All Out. And MJF knows how to command the room. He knows when he speaks, everyone listens. That's very good. What a very good promo. And they announced that for next week, Cody will be tagging with Matt Cardona to fight John Silver and Alex Reynolds. MJF updates us. And FTR Young Bucks, Hangman and Omega versus Dark Order with Colt Cabana, and Cassidy versus Jericho debate with a special guest moderator for next week. And for our main event, it was a tornado. What's this? No disqualifications. Tornado tag team match. So it's Darby Allin and Jon Moxley versus Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. They played Darby's song, but he didn't come out. And I guess they were playing to the reports last week that Darby was injured, but Jon Moxley came out, did his usual stick. Taz got a good promo. Ricky Starks got a good promo. They came out, but before they could leave the ramp, they were attacked by, it's Darby Allin. He coffin dropped them on the stage, and the match hasn't started, and they're beating up each other. And I've missed Darby wrestle. Darby's a good wrestler. Very, very enticing moves. Every time he does his from the back, then he jumps behind his opponents, then does a stunner. It's very good visuals. And there's this memorable spot that Brian Cage was holding Jon Moxley in a power slam move. Yeah, power slam move, and Darby tried to jump on Brian Cage's face to do a Hurricane Rana, I guess, but Brian Cage just catches him and does a power slam on both of them. Wow, what a strong boy! And the next memorable spot was Jon Moxley got Alabama slammed into a trash can by Starks and Cage, which is gnarly. I don't want that to happen to me. And one of the coolest combo, it's like buckshot lariat and V-trigger combination, but coffin drop plus paradigm shift. Ooh, what a good concept. What a good move. I like it. And the end of the match was Darby Allin finding a weapon. It's a skateboard with thumbtacks on it, and he was on the top rope. He jumped like what he was doing at the Casino Battle Royale, like he was gonna go for a ride on that board, but into the back of Ricky Starks. And Ricky Starks' back was bleeding. It was gnarly as hell. And then he pinned Ricky Starks to win. Then they announced that for next week, Darby Allin will be facing Jon Moxley for the AEW Championship. It's a match that I want to see, but the problem is that they have a ranking system, and Darby Allin was ranked 5. They announced that he was ranked 5, so that's like a slap on the face of the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st that he got his shot before them. But I'll still watch it. My rating for this episode, it's, I guess, 3 out of 5. Last week's episode was better, but this is also a good watch. I like it. So that's it for my review of AEW Dynamite. Thank you for listening.